put her foot in it.
The race 2 had me hollering.
She's Dutch. They're built different. I'm telling you, these Dutch drivers are built different.
It's not the plane, it's the pilot.
That's right.
Can't tell her shit.
Can't tell her nothing.
I don't know what a flag means.
You can't be wasting Susie Wolf's time.
No, these are precious resources.
Who's the top dog?
God, just taking people out left and right.
I don't know the rules.
And she wants to be a movement.
And we're live. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jessica.
And this is where we're yelling, welcome back to another episode. Today we are talking about F1 Academy.
Woohoo! We're finally getting to our team and driver previews that we've been talking about doing. And what better time than right before Montreal, where we finally pick it back up.
Yeah.
So in this episode, we are going to talk about the teams, give a little bit about background on them. Same thing for the drivers. So it's going to be very quick. There's a lot of new drivers to get introduced to. So this is just a nice little snapshot. And then at the very end, we will be doing a little bit of news for F1 Academy when it comes to the new opening races that they're doing. They're calling it the opening race. There will be a few rounds that have 3 races. We'll talk about that. And we will give a little bit of a recap of China and where things stand now, considering it's been, months at this point?
2 months?
Yeah, since we've even had any F1 Academy coverage. And so we're just going to jump right into it.
Yeah, so starting with Prema Racing, quick background on the team. Prema Racing is an Italian junior racing team known for competing across the single-seater ladder, including F4, FRECA, F3, F2, and F1 Academy. In F1 Academy, Prema has been one of the series' strongest teams, winning multiple teams championships and producing champions like Marta Garcia and Dorian Pan. For 2026, Prema has a refreshed lineup with 3 developing drivers, so the big question is whether they can keep their front-running form with a newer group of drivers. So the current driver lineup is Matilda Pats, sponsored by Aston Martin, Peyton Westcott, sponsored by Mercedes, and Natalia Granada, sponsored by Sephora.
Yes, so some information on Matilda Pats. She races for Prema Racing with Aston Martin support and enters as a full-time rookie. So this was going to be her first season. So some racing background on Matilda Pats. She is a German driver who developed through karting, competing in European and world level events. She was an FIA Girls on Track Rising Stars finalist in 2022 and 2023, adding to her early recognition as a young female talent. She moved into single-seaters in the 2024 French F4 Championship, then built more experience in 2025 with a podium in F4 CEZ and 2 wins in the E4 Championship Trophy Woman category. So she made her debut in F1 Academy at the 2025 Montreal round as the wild card before joining the grid full-time with Prema this year. Now we have Peyton Westcott. Peyton Westcott races for Prema Racing with Mercedes support and enters as a full-time rookie as well. Some racing background. Westcott is an American driver from California who began karting at 6 and entered competitively at 12. She became the first F1 Academy Discover Your Drive karter to graduate to a full-time F1 Academy seat, making her a clear example of the pathway the series is trying to build. In 2024, she represented F1 Academy Discover Your Drive in European karting before moving into single-seaters in 2025. Before F1 Academy, she raced in Formula Winter Series, Italian F4, E4, Formula Trophy, Saudi F4, and UAE4, scoring multiple class wins across F4 level competition. So Peyton Westcott actually made her F1 Academy debut last year during the Las Vegas round as the wildcard driver. She scored points with a 6th place finish in race 1. And last but not least, we have Natalia Granada. She races for Prema Racing with Sephora support and enters as a rookie as well. So as Anna already said, Prema is going from having top tier drivers to all rookies.
Brand new babies.
Yes. So some racing background for her. Granada is a Spanish driver who started karting at age 11 and progressed through national, European, and world level karting competitions. She competed in major karting events, including the IAME European Championship and the IAME World Final. In 2023, she became the first driver to represent the Iron Dames in karting. If you're not aware with the Iron Dames, they do a lot of endurance racing. They are like a racing team. Before F1 Academy, she combined F4 testing with selected car racing experience in the Liger European Series. Liger? So far, she's made an immediate impression at the 2026 Shanghai Opener, finishing second in race 1 and earning a podium on her F1 Academy debut. So that's what her impression so far is from F1 Academy.
Yeah, one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
So Prema Racing already has the reputation and results of like a benchmark F1 Academy team. Like they've got multiple championships so far, and F1 Academy is only in its 4th season of existence. So Prema Racing is kind of like they're one of the front runners of the pack, so to speak. But this year we'll test how quickly this sort of like refreshed rookie heavy lineup can turn potential into consistent front running performances. Westcott and Pats bring wildcard experience, so they have a little bit of F1 Academy experience from last year. But Granada has already shown early podium potential, so still one to keep an eye on, Prema Racing.
Yeah, for sure. So now we move on to Campos Racing. Some quick background. Campos Racing is a Spanish junior racing team based in Valencia with experience across categories like F2, F3, F4, Euro Cup 3, and F1 Academy. In F1 Academy, Campos has been a competitive front-running team, especially in 2025, with drivers like Chloe Chambers and Alicia Palmowski fighting near the front. For 2026, Campos keeps 2 returning drivers and adds 1 rookie, giving them one of the more experienced lineups on the grid. So their current lineup is Megan Bruce, sponsored by Tag Heuer, Rafaela Ferreira, sponsored by Racing Bulls, and Alicia Palmowski, sponsored by Red Bull Racing.
So Megan Bruce races for Campos Racing with Tag Heuer support and enters as a rookie full-time driver. So her racing background, she is a British driver who came into racing without a traditional karting background, moving straight into car racing. She earned her first podium after only 5 races in the 2023 Caterham Academy. She later competed in Caterham 270R before moving into single-seaters with GB4 and Saudi F4. In GB4, she scored 9 top 10 finishes in 2024 and returned in 2025 with a best finish of 4th at Oulton Park. Oulton Park.
Let us know.
Yeah, tell us how to pronounce some of these. She also impressed in the first F1 Academy rookie test, setting 2 top 4 times. Her F1 Academy record, she made her debut in 2025 as a late replacement for Ava Agnostiades, who missed Singapore due to an injury. She drove the Tag Heuer-supported Hitech TGR car at Singapore before joining Campos Racing full-time for 2026. Rafaela Ferreira races for Campos Racing with Racing Bull support and enters 2026 as a returning F1 Academy driver. So her racing background, she's a Brazilian driver who made history in karting as the first woman to take pole position in the Copa Brasil de Kart F4 graduated category. She moved into Brazilian F4, where she became the first woman to earn a podium in the series. In 2024, she became the first woman to win a race in the series, and she finished that season 4th overall with 3 wins, 2 pole positions, and 7 additional podiums.
Dang, she killed it.
Yeah, for real. In F1 Academy, she made her debut with Campos Racing last year. She scored points in 7 races with a best finish of P5 on debut in Shanghai. She finished 12th in the standings and returns in 2026 with a full season of experience to build from.
Yeah, I'll have to keep our eye on her. I mean, that's a lot of historical moments for her.
Okay. Moving on to Alicia Palmowski. Alicia Palmowski races for Campos Racing with Red Bull Racing support and enters 2026 as a returning driver. Her racing background, she's a British driver who came through Ginetta Junior, where she scored 10 podiums. She moved into single-seaters in GB4, finishing as the 2024 vice champion with 3 wins, 2 pole positions, and 11 podiums. She also made an early F1 Academy impression as the Lusail wildcard, finishing P5 in race 1 before joining the series full-time. Her F1 Academy record in 2025, she won at Shanghai and finished 5th overall in the standings. She returns with Campos Racing as one of the team's most experienced and proven drivers.
Yeah, Alicia is always one. She was one to watch. She proved herself last year, and I expect a lot from her this year. So what to watch? Campos has one of the more experienced lineups on the 2026 grid, with Palmowski and Ferreira returning and Bruce joining after getting a first taste of F1 Academy in 2025. The big question is whether Campos can turn that experience into a serious title challenge.
And now we have MP Motorsport. So quick background, MP Motorsport is a Dutch junior racing team based in Westmaas, Netherlands, and competes across the junior single-seater ladder, including F1 Academy. In F1 Academy, MP has been one of the stronger teams with 10 wins, 25 podiums, 6 poles, and 824 points across the series so far. After coming close to the 2025 driver's title with Maya Vug, MP enters 2026 with a strong mix of returning experience, race winning potential, and wildcard momentum. Our current driver lineup for MP is Nina Gademan, sponsored by Alpine, Alba Larsen, sponsored by Ferrari, and Esme Kosterman, sponsored by Lego.
Nice. So Nina Gademan, she races for MP Motorsport with Alpine support and enters 2026 as a returning F1 Academy driver. Some racing background on Nina. She is a Dutch driver who started karting at the age of 5. She was a girls on track Le Mans shootout finalist in 2019 and won the karting Slalom Cup at the FIA Motorsport Games in 2020. Before single-seaters, she raced in categories like PTC Cup in the 24 Hours of Zolder, where she finished runner-up in class as part of an all-female lineup. She made her single-seater debut in British F4 in 2024 and became the first F1 Academy wildcard driver to score points. Her F1 Academy record so far: in 2025, she raced with Prema, finished 6th in the standings, earned her first win at Zandvoort, and added 3 more podiums, which was really cool to watch because that is her home race. Mm-hmm. She returns in 2026 with MP Motorsport after adding more podiums over the winter in Saudi Arabian F4. Now we have Alba Larsen. Alba Larsen races for MP Motorsport with Ferrari support and enters 2026 as a returning F1 Academy driver. Some racing background on Alba. She is a Danish driver who started competitive racing as a preteen and developed through karting. In 2023, she won the Zealand Championship, taking 4 wins in 5 rounds and finishing on the podium in 11 of 14 races. She won the senior shootout in the FIA Girls on Track Rising Star program, despite having no prior car racing experience. She made her single-seater debut in the 2024 Indian F4 Championship, where she scored points and earned a rookie podium. She is also mentored by former F1 driver Kevin Magnussen. And her F1 Academy record, in 2025, she was the second youngest driver on the grid and finished 7th in the standings with 7 top 5 finishes. For 2026, she steps into the Ferrari-supported seat, taking over after Maya Vug's 2-year F1 Academy run. Now we move on to Esme Kosterman. Esme races for MP Motorsport with Lego Racing support and enters 2026 as a full-time F1 Academy rookie. Something to note, this is Lego's first year sponsoring a driver full-time in F1 Academy. Some racing background. Kosterman is a Dutch driver who was selected for the 2020 FIA Girls on Track Rising Stars program, reaching the final 8. She raced in the Ford Fiesta Sprint Cup Benelux, where she became the first woman to win the series. She also gained experience in categories like the Dutch Supercar Challenge, BMW M2 Cup, and the Lamera Cup. She made her single-seater debut in Indian F4, scoring points on debut before adding more experience in British F4. Her F1 Academy record: she made her F1 Academy debut as the 2025 Zandvoort wildcard and scored points with a 7th place finish.
MP Motorsport came very close to the driver's title in 2025, and this lineup sort of gives them a stronger chance to push even further to try to secure the actual title. So Nina Gademan already has race-winning F1 Academy experience. We've got Alba Larsen bringing a year of full-time experience back. And Esme Kosterman showed promise as a point-scoring wild card.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on MP Motorsport. They could be challenging for a title this year.
Yeah. About time. So now we will talk about Rodin Motorsport. Rodin Motorsport is a New Zealand-owned, UK-based junior racing team that competes across categories including F2, F3, GB3, British F4, and F1 Academy. In F1 Academy, Rodin has been a competitive team, especially with drivers like Abby Pulling, who won the 2024 F1 Academy title with the team. For 2026, Rodin has a mix of returning experience and rookie potential, with Felbemeyer and Lloyd returning, while Stevens joins as a full-time rookie. So their current driver lineup: Emma Felbemeyer, sponsored by Audi; Ella Lloyd, sponsored by McLaren, and Ella Stevens, sponsored by McLaren Octagon.
Emma Felbermeyer races for Rodin Motorsport with Audi support and enters 2026 as a returning F1 Academy driver. Some racing background. She is an Austrian driver and a third-generation racer, with both her father and grandfather having competed in the 24 Hours of Le Mans. She began karting at age 7 and progressed through the micro, mini, and junior levels. And she later moved into international karting, including WSK karting in the World and European Championships. Her first full single-seater season came in F1 Academy with Kick Sauber support. Her F1 Academy record in 2025, she raced with Rodin Motorsport and finished 10th in the standings, including a win in Montreal. She returns with Rodin Motorsport for 2026 and started the season strongly with a podium and a win in Shanghai. So keep an eye out for Emma Felbermeyer.
Come on, Emma.
Ella Lloyd races for Rodin Motorsport with McLaren support and enters 2026 as a returning F1 Academy driver. Some racing background. Ella Lloyd is a Welsh driver with an unconventional path into racing, coming from sports like show jumping and skiing before moving into cars. She did not kart competitively and instead began her racing career in the Ginetta Junior Championship. She later became vice champion in the Ginetta GT Championship Pro class, taking 10 wins, 10 pole positions, and 7 additional podiums. She moved into single-seaters in British F4, where she scored 4 podiums in 2024. Her F1 Academy record, she debuted as the 2024 Singapore wildcard, scoring points in both races. And in 2025, she raced full-time with Rodin Motorsport, winning Jeddah Race 1 and finished 4th overall as the top rookie. She returns with Rodin Motorsport and McLaren support for 2026 as one of the strongest returning drivers on the grid.
No, she really is. I expect a lot. She is one of the favorites going into it for sure.
Yeah. And then our other Ella Stevens, races for Rodin Motorsport with McLaren Octagon support and enters 2026 as a rookie. She is a British driver with a strong karting background before moving into single-seaters. She was British Barrel Art Cadet Champion and a double English KZ2 champion. In 2025, she became the British KZ2 karting champion, making history as the first woman to win the UK's premier karting class. She also topped the timesheets at the first F1 Academy rookie test, helping earn her step into the series. She is part of the McLaren Driver Development Program. For her F1 Academy record, this is her first full season in F1 Academy. So she'll be adapting to the car, the race weekends, and the step into international single-seater racing.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah. Rodin has a strong F1 Academy track record and a lineup with 2 returning drivers plus 1 highly rated rookie. Felbermeyer brings momentum after a strong start to 2026, and Lloyd gives the team valuable experience, while Stevens adds fresh McLaren-backed potential.
And now it's time for, is it ART or ART Grand Prix?
I'm not sure.
Someone tell us in the comments. Is it just, it's because it's capital ART? Mm-hmm. Are we spelling it out?
Yeah.
Or is it ART?
Let us know.
I'm going to go for the sake of it, ART Grand Prix.
Okay.
We're making a decision, but let us know if we're wrong, please. So quick background, ART Grand Prix is a French junior racing team with a long history across the single-seater ladder, including F2, F3, FRECA, Formula 4, and F1 Academy. In F1 Academy, ART has been a competitive team, including a strong 2023 season where Lena Buller finished as vice champion and with the team. For 2026, ART has an all-rookie lineup. The current driver lineup is Lisa Billard, sponsored by Gatorade, Kaylee Countryman, sponsored by Haas, and Jade Jacket, sponsored by Williams.
Okay. So Lisa Billard, she races for ART Grand Prix with Gatorade support and enters 2026 as a full-time rookie. Some racing background. Billard is a French driver who developed through karting and was selected for Alpine's Racer program. Racer is RAC and then a capital H in parentheses ER for those who may need to know whatever that is. Race her. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Race her.
Damn. I was like, I don't know what they're doing.
Why is there random
literally
H?
Went over my head.
RAC.
That
Race
makes
her.
sense.
Race her
program.
Yeah.
In 2022, she became the first female driver to win a race in the French Junior Karting Championship. She later earned a P3 finish in the French Junior Karting Championship and scored an international karting podium in the FIA Academy Trophy. She moved into French F4 in 2024 and won the female trophy title during her full 2025 campaign. Her F1 Academy record: Billard impressed at the 2025 F1 Academy rookie test, finishing just 0.092 seconds off the fastest lap of the day. So she was just like 9/100ths off of the fastest lap of the day. She later appeared as the Singapore wildcard, where she became the first wildcard driver to qualify inside of the top 5. For 2026, she steps into a full-time seat with Art Grand Prix. Kaylee Countryman. Kaylee Countryman races for Art Grand Prix with Haas support and enters 2026 as a rookie. Some racing background for her: Countryman is an American driver who began racing on her 12th birthday. She started in U.S. karting, earning multiple podiums before moving into two-stroke karting and scoring an international podium in Canada. She moved into open-wheel racing through Rush SR, then stepped up to USF Juniors in 2025. She also gained experience in the USF 2000 and prepared for F1 Academy with testing in Navarra and racing in the UAE 4 Series. Her F1 Academy record: this is Countryman's first full season in F1 Academy, so she'll be adapting to the international calendar, the car, and the F1 Academy race weekend format. She is also the youngest full-time driver on the 2026 grid. So she's just a baby.
A wee baby.
Jade Jaquette. She races for Art Grand Prix with Williams support and enters 2026 as a rookie. So like we said, they have nothing but rookies on this team right now. It'll be interesting. Some racing background: Jaquette is a French driver who made her karting debut in 2023. She competed in the 2024 French Junior Karting Championship while also beginning her transition towards single-seater through simulator work in her first F4 outing. In 2025, she raced in the French F4 Championship, earning 12 top 20 finishes with a best result of P11. She also claimed the female trophy at Dijon-Pernod. Her F1 Academy record so far: this is her first full season in F1 Academy. She took part in the F1 Academy rookie test, where she posted the 7th fastest time in the afternoon session. She joined the Williams Racing Driver Academy ahead of her rookie F1 Academy season.
Art Grand Prix has the pedigree and experience to be competitive, but 2026 is about how quickly the rookies can settle in and get it figured out. Yeah. And they don't have a lot of time to do that.
No.
So with the quickness, they need to quickly adapt and become comfortable. I think this season is going to be a lot about adaptability for these drivers.
I think we have 11 rookies, I think.
Crazy.
From what I recall.
And we only have 17 full-time drivers on the grid.
Yeah.
And 18.
11 of them are
11
new.
of them are rookies. So that's crazy. We've got a little bit of, so Billard brings some wildcard and rookie testing experience. Jaquette has Williams backing. Countryman gives Haas a new American presence on the grid. So that's fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
That's kind of like a bunch of rookies.
Let's see.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
we don't really have any sort of outlook for them.
No, we'll just have to see how it goes down.
Yeah.
Moving on to our last team, Hitech TGR. They are a British junior racing team with experience across the single-seater ladder, including F2, F3, British F4, GB3, and F1 Academy. Hitech is the newest team on the F1 Academy grid, joining in 2025 and operating the wildcard entry alongside its full-time drivers. For 2026, Hitech has 2 full-time rookies and the rotating wildcard seat, so their season is about building momentum while helping introduce new talent to the series. So their current driver lineup, they have Ava Dobson, sponsored by American Express, and Rachel Robertson, sponsored by Puma. Their third driver will be rotating every single round, and we will talk about that wildcard driver when we do our race recaps.
Yeah. So there are 2 full-time drivers this season. We've got Ava Dobson, who races for Hitech TGR with American Express support and enters as a full-time rookie. Some background on Ava Dobson. She's an American driver who started karting at age 7. She moved into open wheel racing in the U.S., competing in F4 United States, USF Juniors, USF 2000, and the Academy Winter Series. She later moved into European competition with GB4, where she earned a podium at Donington Park and won the championship's top female driver prize. She made her F1 Academy debut as the 2025 Miami wildcard before joining Hitech TGR full-time for this season.
Nice.
And our other full-time driver this year for Hitech is Rachel Robertson. She races for Hitech TGR with Puma support and enters as a full-time rookie. She's a Scottish driver who started karting later than many drivers, beginning in indoor rental karting. We've done that before moving into competitive karting. She raced in the British Kart Championships in the senior Rotax category, earning multiple top 10 finishes. She later earned a factory drive with Radical Motorsport and finished third in the 2025 Radical Cup UK. She also built single-seater experience in F4 Saudi Arabia, where she scored multiple top 10 finishes. She made a one-off F1 Academy appearance at the 2025 Las Vegas season finale, where she finished P4 in race 1.
Yeah, I remember being very confused at the time when we were going over that, because I think there were a few times I called her the wildcard driver, and I was like, no, she wasn't. She was just racing in place for somebody.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
Yeah, and her P4 finish in race 1 last year in Las Vegas was the best result by any one-off driver in 2025.
Get it.
Yeah. And so just a little bit more about the wildcard entry. So, we mentioned, I believe already, there's 17 full-time drivers on the grid. Hitech has one of their seats reserved for a wildcard entry every round, and it changes each round. And typically the wildcard entry tends to be someone local to wherever the race is taking place. Like if we're, last year in China, they had a Chinese driver, or if there's a race in the US, they'll typically have a driver from the US fill that spot. And what's interesting is that there's a pretty high conversion rate from wildcard driver 1 year into being a full-time F1 Academy driver within the next year or 2.
Yeah.
There's a pretty high conversion rate. So if you are a wildcard driver in F1 Academy and do okay or well, you are very likely to get a full-time seat the next season or within 2 seasons.
Yeah. Hitech is still establishing itself in F1 Academy, but its role is interesting because it combines 2 rookie full-time drivers with the rotating wildcard seat. Dobson and Robertson both bring wildcard experience into their rookie seasons, while the third car gives new drivers a way into the series each round. It's interesting because, Hitech is pretty much accepting the fact that it's not that they don't want to win, but it's also they're accepting their role as we are helping to develop talent. And, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So, guys, that actually covers everybody. That covers all the teams. That covers all the drivers. We want to go ahead and give a quick reminder of how the Montreal race weekend is going to go and why. So something to remember for Montreal is that F1 Academy is using the updated 3-race weekend format. This was added at select rounds after the Saudi Arabian round was canceled, allowing the series to restore the 2026 calendar to 14 races. Instead of the usual 2-race setup, Montreal will have an opening race. The grid will be set by each driver's second fastest qualifying lap, and it will award full points. After that, we have our reverse grid race, which uses the reverse grid format and awards points to the top 8 drivers as per usual. And then the last race will be our feature race, which is set by the fastest qualifying lap and awards full points as well. So something to consider here is qualifying is going to matter even more than it normally does, because it's not just your strongest lap that's going to be setting the grid. It's also going to be your second fastest lap. So it's going to be interesting because Montreal has a lot of points to try and get all in one place. And we want to give a quick little recap about China since we're about to be in Montreal and it has been a minute since we have seen our girls. The season opened in Shanghai with Nina Gademan winning the reverse grid race and Emma Felbemeyer winning the feature race. After round 1, Felbemeyer led the Drivers' Championship with 31 points, followed by Alicia Palmowski with 25 and Nina Gademan with 22. On the team side of things, Rodin Motorsport left China leading the team's championship with 44 points, ahead of Campos Racing with 40. So, heading into Montreal, we already have a few early storylines. Felbemeyer has the championship lead. Palmowski and Gademan are right behind her. And the updated 3-race format means there are even more points and more chances for the order to shift. So after going through the teams, the drivers, and what happened in Shanghai, who do you think is going to take control in Montreal?
Mm-hmm.
Ella Lloyd or Alicia Palmowski? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but honestly, Westcott was really impressive in Shanghai, so it's going to be a rough one. So I don't know, but we would love to know what you guys think.
Yeah, and just FYI, Nina Gademan is apparently the driver that has chosen me as my driver for F1 Academy.
That's true. I
So
remember
that's my
this.
girl. I'm
Yeah.
like, she just showed up in my feed,
That's my
and
girl
I was
now.
like, that's her. She's mine. So I followed her, and like, that's my girl I support now. So
That's the
Nina,
one.
I'm looking out for you.
But yeah. All right, guys, please give us attention.
Yeah, like, comment, share,
Honest-
subscribe, all the
Yeah.
above.
Honestly, I get such a rush of dopamine every time. I love it.
Give us our dopamine.
Yeah, need our dopamine hit. But please, so let us know who are you backing this F1 Academy season, and we will talk at you next time during our Montreal race recap. Alrighty, bye.
Bye.